All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday, and I hope you're having an amazing morning today. Good morning, Norm. How are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Doing good. All right, guys. Let's get to our top plays and highlights from yesterday. Obviously, we had a lot of pretty good action yesterday. Let's start over with AMD here. I'm gonna skip this one candle here because it kind of throws the chart off a little bit. But AMD right at the open seemed very choppy, guys. We're not getting such clean moves like we have seen in the past on it. So kind of indecision candle right at the open, followed by a beautiful pop here in the 5 minute, and then just a lot of rejection here coming back down below the VWAP. Here becomes a beautiful trade around 10:30 or so. You can see it regain the VWAP, and then it does a pretty nice strong move here towards the top, towards the high of the day. And then just look at the rest of the day, guys. Just complete chop all the way after noon, 12:30 here. It just does nothing, right? So not regular AMD action there, but again, he has a couple of moves in the morning. After that, it just became pretty much untradeable there. Here is Neo, another one we had on deck yesterday. Also, again, had an okay pre-market activity. We've seen better from it. Had a beautiful pop. Looking at it now, hindsight. But if you look at this action, look how these candles are being created, and look at the wick here. Usually, that comes down to not great price action. I did not look at this too closely, but when you have these wicks like this, it's very difficult to read the price action, even on a smaller time frame. So, again, aside from that, it does get a little bit better. 15 minutes in, you can see again more rejection up here, hitting this 13 price target here, which we had on there. You can see the drop down coming back down towards this 1285. So again, you had an opportunity here, and also great rejection heading back down towards the VWAP. eBay was on deck. Also, eBay didn't trade well. It had a quick 5 minute open range breakdown. Then after that, didn't really do all that much in this area here. So again, not looking all that great there. STX was another one we had also. Again, this was more of a possible, even though we had it on our main list. We have traded this one before in the past, and it does trade well when it is in play. But yesterday, we did not see any of that. So again, just not clean at all. We had BA also yesterday. This one was amazing, guys. It had a beautiful pre-market action. As we know, the volume started coming in after earnings, and look how great this thing traded. Brian called it out early, took a short here on BA, took advantage of this amazing move here, and you can see the beautiful drop here on BA heading down to some pretty significant levels the entire morning. Finally found a base around 11:30 or so, but again, a great short move here on BA. When BA is in play, guys, and it has volume, it is very, very clean. A lot more than it was before COVID. We've been seeing some pretty good action on it. Here, Starbucks didn't do all that much, guys. Again, they were gapped up pretty nice yesterday. But on the 5 minute here, we're seeing that there was a lot to get going here. You had one possible play here on this drop, but after seeing the rejection at the high of the day levels, beautiful drop here. But for the most part, that's all you really got that was significant. And again, this trade here, not a great pattern. So I don't know how you would have caught that. Would have been a tough one to catch there. You have to be watching that one like a hawk. All right, let's not forget about Kodak. Let's break this one down, guys. KODK. This thing it was good. It was really good pre-market, and a few minutes into the open. Right, few minutes into the open, you actually could follow the price action. You got a beautiful pop here. A lot of members went long here. Some members were long already from the pre-market, as the pre-market was just pretty clean, guys, and amazing. Good volume, good patterns here. And then you start getting this halting situation here, and this is when things get scary, guys. If you're in here already because you were playing a bounce, great. But once you start seeing this parabolic moves and halts in between, again, this is when you don't want to touch this. I tweeted something out that this is basically at this point you're gambling if you're trying to get long in here because you have the fear of missing out and you believe that this thing can go to 150, which it can. Right, but you do not know when this will happen. This right here can happen at any time. It could happen here, it could happen here. It goes all the way up to 60. And remember this, guys. In every transaction, there's a buyer and there's a seller. So trust me, people yesterday did blow up their account because there's people buying here, right? The smart money is selling here at this point. And then, so unfortunately, the dumb money is buying here, and then they get caught in this insane halt. And these halts were happening seconds. I mean, it was not like, oh, a minute's dropping down. It was just like, what, every 2 seconds, Storm?
Yeah, in those extreme cases, it would open with a gap that was above the halt limit. So essentially, it would just process orders exactly at that price. As soon as those were exhausted, it halted. So there was no price fluctuation really. It would just, a couple of those times I was watching it would open and just, and once those orders were exhausted, it was toast.
Yeah.
There was really no way to get out of it.
One question I got on Twitter from Oliver was, how can the market makers, his question is, can the market makers open at a random price when he saw this gap down so big? And that's usually not the case, right? Is it orders that, right? It's the orders that are stuck in the pipe that need to get processed first, then the price comes out and we open up. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, it's a couple of things, and I mean, there could be a couple of reasons for it. So I'll give my best guess as to what happened here. So you hit 60. I mean, it was pretty clear signal once it dropped from 60 to 53.75 in that first big red candle, I think.
Yeah.
And then it halted again. I mean, and that was almost instantaneous when that happened. Then you gapped down. Essentially, you had no chance to get out between that and the next red candle, which then dropped around, I can't remember what's the low on that one. It's like 47 maybe. Yeah, 47.25. I mean, it was obvious. Now you've got people that are down 25% if they bought up in the high 50s or 60ish. They're down 25% on whatever they purchased. They're panicking. They're stuck in a halt. Nobody wants to buy it at that point. It's pretty obvious. You've got algos and high frequency trading that's taking place that they understand. They've switched from a buy side program to sell side, and there's just nobody there to bid on the stock. And you finally caught a bid in the low 30s, and that's what happened. It gapped down, and that was one instance that I was talking about at which it hit that price. It had to print somewhere. It hit that price, and it just essentially stuck on that number. And once the orders were processed, it came out. But yeah, I mean that's computers right there. Is my best guess is computers quit buying and instantly went to selling, and that was the end of that. But market makers are generally there to help keep prices somewhat, to add liquidity. You needed no liquidity in this. This was trading multiple times the float that day. They're usually to stabilize prices to some degree and not cause something like that. That's more like an algo kind of situation. Computers taking over.
Yeah, so again, guys, it's nice to catch these moves on the right side, but when you're on the wrong side and you see something like this is why these low flow stocks, I mean, this is an 18 million shares float, and it traded, what was the number? Something like 150 plus or something at one point. So,
million, I think it was.
So again, just crazy stuff happening there. And it's active again, 6.2 today, up 20%. So we'll look at that in a second. But before we do so, let's get over.
271. It was somebody, Simmer corrected us in the room. It was 271 million shares.
Wow. Insane. Let's get right to the market pulse and see what we have going on for today and the rest of this week.
Yeah, so we just had some big numbers come out, guys. We had GDP for the second quarter, which was the biggest drop in history by far. Seasonally adjusted numbers for the quarter. GDP was down 32.9%. The estimate was 34.1%, so it actually wasn't quite as bad as anticipated. We also had jobless claims come in that were a little bit better than expected, but continuing claims were worse. So, futures were down this morning pretty hard. SPY being down, it was around 1% earlier. It's come back off that number. Now we're down 0.75%. It's in anticipation of, we've got Apple, Alphabet, Facebook, and I'm missing one. Apple, Alphabet, Facebook. Who am I missing? Guys, help me out. Off the top of my head, I've just blanked.
Amazon?
I said it. No, I already said that. Yeah. Google, I said. Google's Alphabet.
It's the top four, man. We are off our game today.
Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. I said Facebook. Alphabet, Amazon, Facebook. There's one more. Anyway.
Apple.
I thought I said Apple. Anyway, I thought I said Apple. Anyway.
Yeah.
I got stuck on the A's because there's 3 A's and Facebook. So anyway, it's massive tonight. We've been mentioning it all week. So I think this sell-off's a little bit in anticipation of that. I mean, they've had such huge runs, and they just had such huge runs. People want to get out and take their profits before they report, just in case. Because hypothetically, I mean, could really hit the markets if all four of these guys or three of the four report earnings that aren't expected, and they're expecting some pretty high results.
Excellent. I'm going to, I know we have some audio issues here. I'm going to reset our chat room again now, guys. So give me 1 second.
Give us just a second.
All right, we are back. Hopefully that is better, and we'll figure out what's causing that in our chat room. We'll get that fixed.
So just to clarify, it's Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Facebook. Those are the four. It's like 40% of the market cap, 40+% of the market cap of the NASDAQ 100 QQQs. So, you know, it could be devastating to the market if they came out and didn't report, and none of them reported good numbers. So I think there's a little bit of fear in that. People don't want to play through the earnings. They've had massive run up until now.
Yep, agreed. All right, guys, let's take a look at this gappers list this morning. What do we have here? We have some stuff here in the green, a couple of low floats in here. Obviously, Kodak back on the move here. BL and K continues to be on our gappers list for the most part. And we have a lot on the red side as well. So we'll do our best to get through these. Let's start with what's gapping down this morning. Let's go through that list. So here, let me remove what we have from yesterday. All right, make some room here, add some columns. Let's look at AG's a gold mine, I believe, right, Norm? So we're going to skip on this.
It's a miner. I mean, metals, there's a lot of metals in here. They've had a huge run. We've had some people successfully trading them. It's just not something we generally focus on, so we'll probably skip over those. They're just pulling back from a massive run recently.
Yep. So we have LG plug, guys. We see the stock often here. It just doesn't trade well. I mean, go back and look at the intraday action. It is very choppy. It's one that it had a couple of days in the past where it did very good. The pre-market action was great. I'm sorry, the pre-market and the intraday action was great. But aside from that, it's not a stock. It's a very hit or miss, and usually more on the miss side than the hit. So we'll skip on this one. We have mRNA next on here. What has mRNA been up to? So right now, pre-market's a little bit light, but it can get better. It tends to still get pretty good volume. Yesterday, actually traded very decent. We did not have this on watch yesterday, at least I didn't. But after this one indecision candle in the 5 minute, you had this beautiful drop here. Look how great that was. So if you're watching this here for a breakout on the 5, you have several opportunities on here. If you're trading it off the body, great. If you're trading it off the wick, also great entry here as well. And look at the risk to reward on this. Just amazing. Right to the previous day close. I'm sorry, that's not the previous day close. Right to some of these highs and lows levels that we had yesterday. So mRNA right now, possible continuation maybe on the daily. If we remove some of these levels, we can see there's a support line there, which could be concerning. Obviously bounced from there before, but we'll keep it on here. It's one that's very active, and it has some pretty good days when it trades well. TSM, guys, I mean, this one yesterday is just unbelievable. Now, this is a foreign stock that we usually stay away from, but the last couple of days, look how clean this thing has been trading. Horrible pre-market action. At the open, you get this beautiful play here with volume rise. This is the difference with TSM now and before. Look at the difference in volume you're getting per day, right? So there's a lot of eyes on this. You had a big gap up, followed by another big gap up, kind of a small pullback here, and an amazing day yesterday, the entire day. So definitely going to watch this one today. Let's head down to mRNA. We looked at, we have a TRIL coming up here. This doesn't look great. Horrible pre-market action. Let's move down to CCL. CCL right now, pre-market action only 285. And again, this is horrible pre-market action because we know what CCL could do when it wants to trade well. Look at it yesterday. It had a very similar pre-market action, and just look how horrible this was at the open. Just very choppy in here. Maybe some scalping opportunities towards the short side on the 1 minute, but aside from that, on the bigger time frame, I'm not seeing anything clean there. NKLA is one that has been, again, just continues to get hammered, guys. Yesterday, again, dropped nicely. This did hit our turbo breakdown scanners. We didn't have it on watch, but if you're watching the scanner, this was another great opportunity here for a beautiful drop. Does create a beautiful base here and recovers a little bit, breaking out nicely here with some good volume. So again, these moves, guys, you got to be patient. You got to be watching the stock closely and wait for these patterns to build up. You can clearly see higher highs and higher lows building up here. This morning, we are down 2%, 154,000. What I like on the daily, we're back at this close to this level of support that we have bounced from before. We already bounced on it this morning. Could be even a good possible if we don't keep it on our main watch list today. So I'm going to throw it on here. Next, we have NCLH also on deck this morning. This one, again, also not great pre-market action. Look at the intraday action yesterday, was also very horrible compared to what we like to see from this one. So going to not add this one either, going to skip on this one. Let's go to what's gapping up. KNDI. KNDI, let's take a look here. Right now, pre-market action, 12 million shares traded. We are up 57%, 38 million shares flow. This had a big day yesterday, usually trading under $4 here. So big day yesterday, pre-market action was nice. You got some good volume in there. They carried over. I'm sorry, no, this is close to almost after hours here. So late in the day, something popped up here, went into after hours. Any news on this one, Norm? That might be interesting.
This is a Chinese EV manufacturer, and they announced they're bringing 2 electric vehicles to the U.S. market here coming up pretty soon.
Oh, okay. We know that has been a hot topic, these electric vehicles. So I'm going to put it down as a possible for today. So again, they got some good volume right now. They got a good catalyst behind it. Just we got to see how clean this thing is going to trade. Let's go over down to home. This one is a pre-market action is really all over the place right now. You do have a nice pop here of a 52% happening pretty much after hours this morning. We're not seeing great pre-market action right now, guys. So I'm going to put this one on hold for now. We do have a nice breakout here on the daily. It is a 53 million shares flow. So I do like the way this thing broke out here. Norm, is this news, earnings on home?
Yeah, they had earnings, and this has been one beaten down company over the last couple of years, really. But they actually came out and beat what was expected, so they're popping pretty hard. I mean, there was some bankruptcy talk of this company and other things, so any little glimmer of hope has popped them up.
Right. So we'll keep that one here as a possible. Corey's advising us that KNDI has some bad slippage, so be careful on that. Again, I haven't watched that stock before in the past, so that's what we'll put it down as a possible just in case. Let's look at BLNK. BLNK, again, this one is another one that also pops up plenty of times in our gappers list. Let's see how it did yesterday. Actually, yesterday it had a pretty decent day without looking at the price action. No good pre-market volume here this morning. Nice continuation into the after hours as well. And today, very active, 1.4 million shares traded. Norm, I'm assuming it's got to be news to be getting this type of action that we're seeing on BLNK. I know it's not a stock that we usually like to trade. I'm going to throw it on as a possible for now and see how it develops.
They just keep collaborating with people and bringing new EV chargers to market or talk thereof. So that's what's going on here again.
Okay.
This whole EV trade that's just been nuts recently.
Yeah.
Electric vehicles are the new weed, I guess, of summer.
Exactly.
2 years ago it was weed. This summer it's electric vehicles.
And what was it before that? Blockchains. I mean, it's like we go through these seasons, right? And that's what's hot right now. So Kodak, guys, obviously going to be in play today. I will not be touching this, but I will watch it for entertainment purposes. This is up 18%, 6.6 million shares traded right now. Again, it's just at this point, there's no technical levels on this you can actually follow after it did what it did yesterday, right? So that's all out the window. Be very careful if you're going to be trading this one today. And if you're still in this with a good entry from 3 days ago, good luck, but just be careful and not overstaying your welcome here, guys. We heard from people that were actually up nicely, and by the time the holds came down, they were either at break even or at a small loss. So again, with these things, you got to be very careful. So Kodak will keep it on here. Definitely the low flow of the day. APA, at the moment, not doing a whole lot. Had a nice breakout yesterday here on some news, and pre-market action is not looking great at the moment. This stock doesn't trade all that well neither, so I won't be watching this one right now. QLGN, same situation, guys. Not a great pre-market action. We do have some good volume on it. But look at the daily on this one. This doesn't trade well at all. So be mindful of that. Sitting at 12 million shares traded as well. So I'm going to just stay away from that one. Here's QCOM. So QCOM has a nice big gap up today, 11.8, 534,000. What's the latest and greatest on this one?
Yeah, they had earnings last night, and I believe they beat their top and bottom line. So they're getting a pop this morning on that news.
Yep, absolutely. Worth watching. The one thing with QCOM, guys, it can be very choppy, so be cautious. They have a nice gap up today, so today could be the difference maker in how well they trade. But for the most part, they're a very choppy stock when it comes to price action. So let's see if today's going to be any different. We'll quickly start telling once we get over close to that 9:30 time frame. Here is UPS, also nice big gap up on UPS, up 10%. Started going this morning, looks like here. Normal. Any news on this
earnings this morning, they killed it. I mean,
yeah,
you would expect that, right? Everybody's ordering stuff from home, so they're just great earnings report this morning.
Very similar to QCOM, guys. This stock does not trade very well on a regular basis, very light on volume, but on days like this one where you're gapping up nicely on earnings, could be the difference maker for this stock. So we'll throw it on here. If it doesn't look too well, we can always bring it down as possible. But these stocks are great to trade because you're going to have a lot of movement today, especially with such a big pop here. And where are we sitting here as far as all time? We're pretty well. We're at least 52-week high, so we're definitely breaking a lot of stuff on here. We might be sitting at all-time highs. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, I'm going back at 2002 here. So, yeah, it looks like we might be sitting at all-time high, guys. Last time we saw a peak this high was back in 2018. Right over here, sitting around 135 or so. We're sitting at 137. So yeah, this is definitely worth watching here, guys. A lot of action happening there this morning. I know today, what do we have going on here? So this thing, again, it hasn't been trading all that well. This morning we got some pretty decent action, a nice big range here, going from 19 to 26, right back down. So that's good. Hopefully that can, spice things up a bit here. But for the most part, this stock has just not been trading well, guys. So again, not what we used to we've been used to seeing out of it early back in July, late June. This morning, the action does look a little bit more exciting, a lot more volume, 5.2. I'm going to add it at least as possible to watch this morning. Let's take a look at PayPal. PayPal also popping up nicely here. Big day yesterday, also breaking out of this area of 180. So that looks great here. Let's see how it actually traded yesterday. So a nice and steady trend northeast here. This morning, we have some good action here. 300.
What are you doing, the weather?
Northeast, right? Oh man. So yeah. So this looks good, guys. Earnings on this one as well.
They had earnings. Yeah, they had earnings last night. They beat, so they're doing well this morning.
Excellent. So yeah, PayPal definitely on that, guys. One that trades very well when we have news as well. All right, let's go over to FedEx. FedEx also popping up here. It is. Why is my chart doing that? Okay, there we go. All right, let's remove some of these levels. So not a great pre-market action. UPS looks a lot better. This one's up 3.8. Did they have earnings as well, Norm, or is this just a sympathy play with UPS?
Which one are you talking about?
FedEx.
I don't think FedEx had earnings. Maybe I'm wrong. I think FedEx was apologize. No, FedEx. Yeah, FedEx is this evening. Actually, I think it's just a sympathy move on that.
Okay, well, seeing UPS do well, they probably suspect they're going to do well also, which I will not be surprised. Here's a Budweiser.
I'd watch out. I'd watch out for that play on FedEx, though. FedEx has had some substantial business issues that UPS has been able to capitalize on.
Yeah. And again, when you have the one with the news on it, keep UPS, right? This is the one that has the most volume. It has the catalyst behind it. Is hitting all-time highs here. This is the one to watch today. Next, we had a
reminder. FedEx's service was so bad that, what was it, 6 months ago, Amazon told their third-party sellers they couldn't use FedEx to ship for like 6 weeks or something. So.
That's horrible. And usually FedEx is pretty good. So to hear that, that's not good for them. So interesting to see how their numbers are going to come out today. Again, not giving you any advice, guys, on what to do, but just be mindful of what could happen. BUD this morning, they're up 3.2, 193. Again, this stock is foreign, doesn't trade very well, so I'm going to move on to the next one here. ACIU also looks horrible, guys. Not a great daily here. Horrible pre-market action. LVS is the next one on here. They are up 3.2. So this is the casino here. Doing nice this morning. Do we have any news on this one, Norm, on any of the casinos today?
I really haven't seen anything, and maybe somebody can point something out. Maybe I just missed it. I am groggy this morning. Kid kept me up, but I really haven't seen anything substantial here to do this.
Gotcha. So that's what we have, guys. Again, we have a lot gapping up and down today. So there is a lot on both sides of the fence here this morning. So usually when you have this, it's hard to pick out the ones that are really going to be nice this morning. So again, be mindful of that. Might be a day where you have to be patient and wait for the setups. Keep eyes on scanners as well. Here's Bank of America starting to get going with some good volume here. So let's see what WFC is doing today as well.
All right, Icon in the room says LVS, Las Vegas Sands, sent a letter to employees and said there was good news in the Asia market. So I guess that's what it is.
Okay, so that's getting
Thank
a
you.
little pop today. Thank you for that.
Power of the community.
There you go.
I can't read every piece of news out there.
There you go. All right, so we're getting all the banks in here. I'm going to wait for Jared to do his take on the banks. He's pretty good at giving us an update on that. So he'll post that in announcements and let us know what's happening there with these banks. But they're all coming up here: JP Morgan, WFC, and Bank of America. All right, guys, let's get over.
The XLF, which is the financials spider ETF, is leading the losers today.
Gotcha.
And
so
like Jared said, bonds higher, meaning their yields are lower, and that means banks are weak because with low yields, they have a harder time making money.
Yeah, that's what happens. So we'll see. A lot of these are getting active right now. I like WFC and JP Morgan. I like the way they trade. Bank of America is a little bit more choppy, but their pre-market starting to look pretty good right now. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. All right, Norm, what else do you like besides what we have here this morning?
I'm going to go off this list, man. It's long enough. I don't need to find anything else.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on those stocks that I mentioned they're reporting today. And everybody kept saying it's FANG. It's not FANG. Netflix is in FANG. It's most of FANG. But we weren't talking about FANG. It's just the stocks that happen to be reporting tonight happen to make up the majority of that. All and excluding Netflix. So I'll be keeping an eye. Yeah, Jared, exactly. I will be FAAA. I will be keeping an eye on those for sure.
All right, excellent. Let's take a look at what the room is watching. So T-Chart is giving us J&J this morning. Let's see what's going on with these guys. J&J at the moment, it is up 1.8, 94,000. Now this stock has some news. I think I heard something on it as well, earnings or whatever the case may be. But again, they're difficult to trade, guys. So you got to be very careful with this one, even with
vaccine news.
Vaccine news. All right. So even with that, you got to be aware of it. That they seem very choppy. Also, their spread could be a little bit wide sometimes. So just be mindful of that. But we'll put it on here just in case we get something good out of it. What else do we have, guys? SPCE Space. Let's take a look at this one. Pre-market action looking okay. We do have. I like the daily here on Space. If we can get going towards the bottom here, I'm going to put it down as possible because we have so many right now. But I like Space, the way it looks on the daily right now. Neo, we do have on deck, I believe. No, we don't. We haven't looked at Neo. Neo looks good pre-market. Daily, so-so. I mean, we're kind of just been stuck around this highs and lows of the last two trading days, just chopping around sideways here. But the pre-market does look pretty, though. I got to say, this looks very clean. Look at the range here that we have this morning. Got some pretty good volume. Man, we have a lot today, guys. I'm going to add that one more, but I'm trying to fill up this list too much. All right, what else do we have?
You did look at Overstock, right, OSTK?
I did not, but I know a few people on YouTube were throwing that out. I was going to get to it.
It's on our gappers.
It is? How did we miss that one?
I don't know.
OSTK,
it looks nice.
Guys, it looks good.
It moves, but it looks nice.
Yeah, look at this daily here as well, guys. Nice breakout this morning here. So yeah, OSTK is definitely on the list here. OSTK, I remember this thing was trading like at 15, 17 bucks. It is now at 70. Wow, nice. let's add this one on here. I like OSTK, guys. Very, very liquid stock, very active. Again, be mindful of your share size. This is another stock that moves very, very aggressively. It is tradable. I think it trades better than some other stocks lately. A year ago or so, this stock was like a low flow stock. You have to be very careful. So again, be mindful of that this morning as we look into this one. All right, we're going to take just a few from the chat YouTube, guys, because this list is so big.
We're already running behind.
Yeah, this list is only going to get worse as more volume starts coming in. It's a lot of stuff moving, very mixed crowd here, mixed bunch, long and short. OSTK, we have EDSA. Let's take a look at that one. EDSA starting to get going here. What's the float on this one, guys? It looks like a biotech company at the moment, up 7.2. Again, I'm not going to really be watching low flows, but this one looks pretty active right now, already up 182. So that could be the Kodak of the day. Here we have APA.
Candy. I think Candy's taking that, even though it's not technically in low float.
Oh, it's not. It's not. What is it?
Candy, KNDI, is 38 million.
I'm sorry. Candy. Okay, yeah. Let me see here. What is it? KA.
KNDI. I think you already looked at it.
Oh yeah, we did look at it. Yeah, we did look at it.
It's the first one we looked at.
Yeah, we have it on our secondary list here. Again, this thing is just ripping, guys. Look at the volume coming in on this 14 million shares. It's not even moving, and the volume is just ripping here.
That's not.
All right, guys, we're going to go over to our announcements. We'll come back. We have a lot on deck this morning.
Yeah.
We'll dissect this a little bit further.
Guys, I'm going to fly through this because we are running out of time. Jared did his success webinar last night on options. It was fantastic, as Jared's couple of webinars have been. It will be posted. The recording will be posted in the Education Center here soon if it is not already. Next week, we've got our own John Hiltz talking about trading a single strategy. He trades his break of high of day strategy over and over and over. We get asked all the time, how many strategies do you need? Just one if it works really well. That's next Wednesday, 8 p.m. in the webinar room. Next Tuesday in the webinar room at 8 p.m. is Dr. Katz. Our in-house psychologist, talking about improving discipline. So I think that's probably the most important thing for any trader to start to become successful, is improving their discipline. And then Mike's module 2 should be posted in the Psychology Center already from this week. Member trade of the day, guys, Monday through Thursday. So this is the last day of the week for this. Take a screenshot, mark it up of your best trade of the day, post it on Twitter by 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike_BBT, and at NormBBT. Use the hashtag BBT family as well. That way we can find it and you're not looked over. And we will select a winner. Mike will announce it in the closing bell show at the end of the day. And then tomorrow, each Friday, we'll take the 4 winners from Monday through Friday, pick the winner, member trade of the week. That'll be broadcast on YouTube, and the winner will win a $100 Amazon gift card. If you're watching on YouTube, haven't been in the chat, you'd like to give it a shot, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll give you 7 days, calendar days in the room, 5 trading days unless there's a holiday, and access to Carlos's every Monday night, 8 p.m. onboarding class that he does. Give you a taste of the room, see if it fits your personality, your trading style, and it doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of discount, so you're not really risking anything. If you'd like to become a lifetime member or upgrade your membership to lifetime, use the promo code Rockies40. This is likely the last time we're going to do a 40% off discount, a discount this large on this. So use the promo code Rockies40. Coming to the last few days of that. That'll end at the end of this month, so we're coming to the end. The closing bell show, this is the last day of the week for it. They do it Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. That's simulcast from the room with Mike, Peter, and Brian. All right, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, let's talk about the trade of the day. Yesterday goes to D Miles. So he had an amazing trade here.
Congrats, D Miles.
Again, just a beautiful trade here. D Miles has been a great member. He's been in the community for quite some time, very active as well. So here we have his entry down at the bottom here towards that VWAP. Just look at the patience here, guys. This thing rips up. He gets it at the technical level. You know, he's not looking to partial too early, so that's a good move there. And then from there, as it's making newer highs, just taking some off the table. So just amazing play here. here. And then he adds, look, it comes back down. I mean, this is pure patience and discipline. It comes back down here to the moving averages, and then again, he adds on there, and then he waits all the way until about 12 noon. He's taking everything out there as he's hitting his technical level. So again, great trade, man. Good job there. Guys, definitely submit your trade of the day, and looking forward to see who's going to win it this week. All right, let's go over to our list. Let's look at what we have here. So mRNA, I'm on the fence on this one. Let's see, TSM. I want to keep TSM on here, guys, because TSM has been trading so well in the intraday, so I want to keep that one on there. NKLA also looks good. I love the daily here, guys, on NKLA. Possible loss of this level here. QCOM, I like QCOM's gap up here. Again, it can go either way. If it's going to be really strong, it can push up above this here, but it's up 11% already on a very nice big gap up. So I won't be surprised if this thing can start losing it here and giving some back, right? Just think about, you know, people's situation here. If you're sitting here and you're up 11% already, and you've been waiting for this thing to break out, it might be some profit taking, who knows? But either way, this thing I think is going to have a good day today, up or down. UPS also very active this morning. Same situation, is gapping up nice here, 8.7. So looking forward to see what we're going to get there. Here we have PayPal. PayPal right now, I think it's good. Nice big day yesterday, possible continuation today, so I don't like that one. And OSTK, I think all these are pretty good, guys. And we have other ones that also look great as well. So again, I think that today's going to be one of those days where you can really have a lot of different watch lists and still come out with a great list that's completely different than somebody else's. All right, let's start here. We're doing some levels. All right, looks like the audio is chopping again in the chat. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to refresh. Pardon. Sorry on YouTube, guys, for this issue that we're having here. Just going to refresh this once again. All right, guys, I refreshed it in the room. Hopefully that is better. Is it better? Yes or no? Let me know so I can restart the chat room. Still choppy? Okay, so I got to reset the whole chat room. Give me 1 second. On YouTube, thank you so much. How's the sound on YouTube, though? You guys are okay? When it comes to sound, it's just the chat room. We'll have to find out what change is causing that in our chat to be choppy. All right, let's reset them here. All right, guys, is that better in the chat now? Yes, better. Okay, we will figure that out. It happened today and yesterday. We'll figure out what's going on there and get that fixed. All right, so in our YouTube chat, we're good. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's see what we have here. So mRNA, let's start with some levels here. So right now we have the highs and lows all around the price action here. Towards the bottom, we have this great level of support that we have bounced from before in the past several times. Let's mark down here. 73.52 is a great area. If we lose the 76, we could get into that situation there. But you know that this stock moves quite a bit. So I want to have a minor area of support resistance right over here at 75.42. We have a date that closed right on there, very close to what this date closed at as well. So I want to have that on there as a minor area of possible support if we lose this great level that we have now. Our pre-market high is a little bit higher than the low of yesterday at 77.02. But again, this low from yesterday is the key area you want to be watching. And then aside from that, guys, I don't think you need to add any more levels. I think you're pretty good here on mRNA. Here is TSM. Again, this stock continues to trade amazing. We never had thought that we would be putting TSM on our list because every time it gaps up, it's just horrible. But again, the news they've been having has created some good opportunities. High of the pre-market 80.60. Towards the bottom, we have 79 on the dot. And then surrounding this small range we have here in the pre-market, you have the highs and lows from the last two trading days. Again, if you look at yesterday's action, it was an amazing long position here, traded very well, very clean. And a few days before that, we've been seeing a lot of good trading on TSM. So I'm going to keep this one on deck. Let's see what it does here. It's basically sitting at midpoint from yesterday's range, right? So here you have yesterday's range, right, which has been a bit of a range that has been created over the last couple of days. The high being 83, the low being 77. Let's see what this wants to do today. Are we going to chop around? Are we going to break up above this high or low of the pre-market and create some good movements again today? NKLA, guys, again, I love where we're sitting at now, this great area of support that can create some momentum one way or the other. At the moment, I love above this level here, 29.25. Right now we're sitting right at the low from yesterday. We got the previous day close above us, pretty much close to the high of the pre-market, and then above that plenty of levels from the last two trading days highs and lows. If we lose this 29.25, we'll have to go back. We have not been down here in quite some time. We're looking at possibly a level over at 2670. 2670 on the daily could be a good area we could get into. So again, we'll see how things play out here. Right now we're not doing much at the moment, but if we lose this level, that could be a good opportunity. Here's QCOM, guys. Again, a huge pop on QCOM this morning. I suspect this thing is going to do one or two things. Hopefully try to take off this 104 or start losing it here, people taking profit and start to close this gap. So we've seen this play quite a bit where, you know, the news is great, but even though the news is great, it can start losing it here and come back to a normal price range. So again, let's see how it plays out. High of the pre-market 104, low sitting at 102, huge gap this morning of 11.2. Let's go back to the left here. Do we have anything near this price action? Oh, we are also sitting at all-time highs. Not seeing anything, guys. So I think we might be sitting at all-time highs here as well. Nope. Yes. Wow, look at that rip on 99. Yeah, we might be sitting all-time high here, guys. So I'm just gonna mark down the next closest level. We're going back at in 1999 here, so I'm not sure how great that's going to be, but 99.60 is the only support you have up here, guys. Aside from that, I am not seeing anything else. So we're going to keep these three levels on here, guys. Watch out for the price action, watch out for the whole dollar numbers on QCOM, and also be mindful that this can be a very choppy stock, so be aware of that. If things are not looking good, don't force a trade on this one. Here's UPS, again, very active. We have a level here at 135.70. High of that was the previous all-time high, so I want to have that on there. We do have high of the pre-market at 138.27, so we'll mark that down. And towards the bottom, why is that not marking here? Here we go. My hotkey's not working. That's weird. Well, the one doesn't want to do levels for some reason here. Well, I'm calling them out to you guys. You guys mark them. 138.33 high of the pre-market. The low of the pre-market sitting at 126. 126 on the dot. So mark those on there. Towards the bottom, guys, you got plenty of highs and lows from the last two trading days. So keep those on there. Guys, we're creating a great area of support. Here's PayPal, high of the pre-market, guys, sitting at a 193.45. Again, had a great day yesterday. D Miles had the trade of the day on this one, member trade of the day. So again, a great job there. Low of the pre-market sitting at 186. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Possible continuation today. So hopefully we can get going here and see a nice movement out of this one. Pre-market right now doesn't look all that great, but this is typical PayPal. It's not a heavily traded stock when it comes to overall volume like the AMDs of the world, but you can still get some pretty good activity, especially after news today. OSTK continues to be very active right now, 495 on the radar at the moment when it comes to volume. High of the pre-market sitting at 74.39. The low of the pre-market pretty much stuck between here at 60 where the previous day close was, and you do have the highs and lows listed towards the bottom here. So again, plenty of action here. Let's go back. We've been up here before. Are we sitting at all-time highs as well on OSTK? Looks like we might be, guys. Oh no, maybe not. No, going back here 2017, 2018, we do have some action in here, so just gonna zoom into this area here. Let's mark down this level here, clearly area of support and resistance across the board here at 68.50. Above that, you have the high of the pre-market. You do have some levels up here as well at around 80.15 or so.
Watch the one thing to watch on this, by the way, and before you move on, is the spread on overstock can be large.
Yes.
So just a heads up on that.
I remember this was the time from here, 2017, when this thing was just crazy, 2018, and we treated it like a low flow at this time. It then has gotten better, but not to the point where you need to, be overly comfortable with it.
I actually, I really think it was a low float. I think their floats increased.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. It was something, again, the price action was just insane. It's a lot better now, but it's still, the spread could be nasty. So be mindful when you, I mean, look at it now. Now it's almost, that was almost 90 cents there. So be careful. All right, some possibles, guys, just to keep in mind. Space is good, losing some area of support here. J&J has news as well. Again, more on the choppier side, so I'm not going to keep too much eye on that one. INO also very active on volume, getting choppy now in the pre-market. BLNK also is one that keeps popping up on our list. Had a great day yesterday. Could possibly put in a continuation. So if you like this style of stocks, you can watch that one. KND continues to rip. Had a little drop here. Down a couple of bucks, but now heading back up. In crazy day yesterday. So if you like that one, you can put that on deck as well. Home is not doing all that much. I'm gonna remove this one. It has a nice big gap up, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet right now. So I don't know. I'm gonna remove that one. INO just seems choppy at the moment. Had a choppy day yesterday. Today's pre-market looks a lot better. I'm gonna take it off from here. Look for it to hit maybe a scanner, a turbo breakup, turbo breakdown. By the way, that scanner is my favorite one, guys. A very good scanner. These turbo breakup scanners are great. So keep an eye on them. When you see something hit a lot on there, tune into it and see if there's anything good that you can possibly take advantage of. And obviously, Kodak, guys, is going to be active today as well. But again, be mindful of this stock already. The technicals are all screwed up on it. So don't force a play here. Don't force a strategy if there is not one. All right, let's take a look at what our moderators have for today. Let's start with Andrew. He's looking at AMD, EDSA, and KNDI. So he's taking care of those. Be careful with EDSA and KNDI. He's advising those are volatile, so be careful with your share size. We have Peter next, KNDI, QCOM, UPS, PayPal, OSTK, LVS, and AMD. Mike has QCOM, PayPal, UPS. Eamon's going to be watching KND, BLK, INO, OSTK, and Home. John has mRNA, Apple, FB, and UPS. And Tiffany's has got KND, BLK, and INO. We didn't look at BLK. What we have going on with BLK? Let's take a look at this. BLK.
Could that be BLNK?
Could that be? Because BLK, I just see a block trade here. I don't see anything happening just yet. So is that
I think she means Blink.
Blink? Okay, all right, because yeah, Blink is the one that's obviously very active this morning. You can see that right on there. All right, perfect, guys. Who else do we have? So Norm, we have INO for you, OSTK, QCOM, and UPS, and Thor is watching.
I've also got, it's not on the list there, but I've also got Win, PayPal, Space, Nikola, and Home.
Okay, perfect. And then here, QCOM, Thor has QCOM, AMD, PayPal, and KNDI. So again, you can tell today the list varies a little bit here by every moderator, every team member, because there's just so much to watch. So again, your list could be completely different. You can filter it by what you like, what you're used to trading, something you have traded in the past successfully. You know, you can start using those filters. You can use price range as well, kind of get into the into an area where, okay, I like this type of price action better than the higher one or the lower one. Whatever works that you have done in the past over and over again, that's what you want to do today. Also, another thing, guys, just especially for our new traders, be mindful that, you know, every trader is very different, and the best thing that a trader could do is find your niche. Once you find what you're good at, you know, the doors are going to open up for you when it comes to trading. That's probably one of the biggest challenges. After you learn trading, learn the basics, learn the technicals and everything else, finding what you're good at is probably one of the hardest things to do. Once you do that, you can really see some real good progress in your trading. But while in doing that, keep in mind that you're going to see all different types of traders. Some traders trade very early on, very fast. Other traders trade throughout the entire day. Like, for example, Peter's a great example. He trades the entire day. Peter will be in a Microsoft trade at 3:39 in the afternoon, right? So again, if you're starting out, it's easy to kind of get into that FOMO when you see somebody else, you know, trade quickly and be done for the day. Just keep in mind that you got to stick to your niche, what works for you. So try to control that FOMO. And know that there's different types of traders. Some trade very early. Norm, your style is completely different than everybody else. It's kind of a mix of early trading, but also you look for opportunities towards the later part of the day as well.
I usually trade very early on, and then I kind of sit back and wait because I feel like I've missed the good moves, and then might wait for a reversal later or a breaking news trade or something along those lines that could happen at any point during the day.
Yeah. And one of the things to keep in mind as well is that, again, if you're trading both morning and afternoon sessions or mid-morning sessions, you got to switch. The style changes, the speed changes. So it requires a lot more patience in the later parts of the day. There's great opportunities, great, amazing trades, but just got to kind of switch a little bit what your tactic is going to be. Guys, thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. We will see you guys on YouTube tomorrow at 8:30 as we close out this week and close out this month of July. So trade safe today. Let's see what the market is going to do. Also looking forward to some earnings, some big earnings coming out this evening. So take care, guys.
Tomorrow should be interesting for sure. Take care, guys. Trade safe.